If you enjoy our work, consider making a donation to mixtapestories.net or at Patreon/mixtapestories, all one word. Thank you. Mixtape Stories, creating beautiful fiction in a disappointing timeline. Steve's been thinking his dreams have been a little weird lately. One had a film score, another had credits roll at the end. Sadly, he didn't dream them up. A new app in his implant pushes advertising while he sleeps. Steve thinks it's just the worst and considers removing the implant entirely. But it's through this app that he's introduced to someone who needs his help. Join us for DreamweavR by Michael Juge.
I remember all of my dreams. Believe me, that's not a great thing. What's so great about remembering the details of being at work naked while your boss, who also happens to be your mom, scolds you for forgetting to put a cover letter on a report? And it's not like my dreams are anything to write home about. I'm an underwriter for an insurance company, so my dreams tend to be a little bit run-of-the-mill. They're so mundane, in fact, that I have reruns, a series of them. There's this one where I'm in my childhood home, and I'm running up the stairs even though it doesn't have a second story in real life, and I'm being pursued by a boogeyman who's just about to see me. As I run up the stairs, I can't move my legs fast enough, and I go into slow-mo. There's the one where I'm driving somewhere, but oh shit! I'm in the back seat trying to drive the car, and it's racing down the highway. And let's not forget my favorite. I'm back in college, and I didn't go to class all semester, and now it's time for the finals. And not only did I fail to study, I forgot where my class was held. Most of my reruns are anxiety dreams. I suppose that goes with the territory as an insurance underwriter. Be that as it may, it's my unwanted ability to remember my dreams that I became one of the first people to notice it, because something about my dreams had begun to change. I think the first time I noticed it was when my boss Bob and I were trying to defuse a bomb, which I should point out is not a job description for an insurance underwriter in real life. My imagination doesn't do subtlety, I guess. While it was supposed to be a tense situation, he and I were arguing where to go for lunch.
If you're sick of ramen, why don't we try that new Thai restaurant? What's it called again? Tie Me Up?
Bob suggested. I nodded and cut the green wire. Yeah, that sounds cool. I heard it's the bomb. When I said that, I heard laughing. I turned around to see who was laughing, but it was just Bob and myself inside a boiler room. He then put his hand on my shoulder and gave a sly wink.
Well, you should know if it's the bomb, right?
More laughing. We both then froze in mid-chuckle, and cheery music started playing.
Everything changes.
And then, I swear to God, credits started rolling. I couldn't read the names of the actors who played Bob and me, but I saw the Dolby Surround Sound logo. I'll say this about the dream. It had more definition. It was more vivid. So was the sound. I was awoken by my alarm, Rabbit, my cat. Rabbit looks like your typical orange tabby for the most part, except for his enormous ears, hence his name. He loves to wake me up by nuzzling in my ear to demand his morning treats. A couple of days later, I was walking around the barren field. The sky was gray and threatened rain. I was lugging a bag of rocks, and for some reason, I was losing my teeth because it's a freaking anxiety dream. I felt depressed. Of course, wouldn't you if you were alone on a barren field, lugging rocks and losing your teeth? And then out of nowhere started,
When we're depressed, simple pleasures can be painful. Euphorum can help relieve symptoms of depression.
the skies cleared, and I dropped the rocks.
Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, thinking about becoming pregnant, or thinking about someone who is pregnant. People taking MAOI inhibitors should not take Euphorum. People taking blood thinners have an increased risk of bleeding. Contact your doctor right away if you experience dizziness or sudden mood changes. In rare instances, hive mind has been known to occur. Simple pleasures should not be painful. Talk to your doctor about Euphorum.
In the middle of the dream, or commercial, I noticed something. Somewhere on the periphery was a trademark. I couldn't quite make it out, but when Rabbit woke me up, I had the song DreamweavR in my head as I fed him the treats that he didn't earn. 2 days later, news broke about DreamweavR. Not the song, the app for REM or REM commercial and dream enhancement services for those with implants. People were apoplectic that this Dreamweaver could enter our minds like that. It was the biggest invasion of privacy in history, worse than the revelation of Ring cameras recording everyone's activities, worse than the time U2 uploaded the album on everyone's iPhone. People demanded that the implant manufacturers disable Dreamweaver, claiming that they did not give express permission. The company shot right back with the terms of service agreement, which within the tome of legalese stated that the user allows a manufacturer to license use of other companies to insert imagery, entertainment, news, and ads directly into the mind. People threatened to have their implants removed. Some actually went through with it. I was furious like everyone else, but for all of my outrage, the truth was, I enjoyed the benefits of the implants far too much to have it removed. I mean, I could stream Dexter directly into my brain while drafting risk assessments. Soon enough, the outrage subsided. People got used to the idea of commercial inserts into their dreams and dream enhancements. Disney, Amazon, and other streaming services started to make an appearance in REM sleep, opening the REM-tertainment industry. I guess people have an incredible ability to adapt. For instance, one morning I was in the break room over at Bigley Insurance and overheard Sally talking to my boss, Bob. The two were both drinking a Panther energy drink, which advertised on REM.
Damn, Sally. You look like you can use 2 Panthers,
Bob said as Sally yawned.
Tell me about it. My younger daughter woke me up at 3 a.m. and I couldn't get back to sleep. She crawled into my bed after having a nightmare, something about being an NPC in a video game.
What's an NPC?
A non-playable character, I think? But that's not important. The important thing is that her entire nightmare was brought to her by NordVPN.
Bob shrugged.
Well, I suppose if you're going to have a nightmare, you should at least have a secure nightmare experience.
Sally nodded.
I suppose you're right.
And thanks to NordVPN, your daughter can stream that nightmare wherever she goes.
Over at the other table, my coworkers discussed their subscription to Joe Rogan's Dreams, which they complained was about as boring as cardboard. While established entertainers like Joe Rogan flooded the emerging REM-tertainment industry, new influencers, or REMfluencers, started to hop on the REM train. People who were once nobodies in the real world had fascinating dreams, and they shared them with subscribers, while others added enhancements to their dreams. Chonky Nightmare, for example, had the ability to taste in his dreams and shared it on REM. People got into eating all sorts of food that they avoided in real life, as the caloric intake would probably be criminal. I did my best to stay away from feeding the DreamweavR algorithms, but my unaided dream seemed a little stale in comparison now. I'd get free enhancements every so often, and I have to admit, those dreams had more color and definition than my unenhanced originals. What's more, the commercialized ones had actual story arcs. Sometimes I thought I was having my own dream, and it would break out into a testimonial. Eventually, I accepted these free enhancements. I mean, you can only push back on principle for so long. Am I right? I was walking along a beach with my ex-wife, which was odd because I was never married. But it's a dream and you go with it. I was just happy she and I were together. There was something drawing me to her, even though I didn't even know my ex-wife's name. And she was stunning. Mahogany skin that glistened, her tight, curly burgundy locks. She took my hand, and I felt flush. She gazed at me with her sparkling green eyes.
Steve, Lord of the Insurance Underwriters.
She addressed me formally.
I have been seeking entry into your realm, and alas, you have granted me an audience.
I knitted my brows confused as she bowed her head. Her burgundy curls touched her magnificent jade gown. She was absolutely resplendent. The way that she gazed at me, it was hypnotic. And then, in the back corners of my mind, I remembered that this was a dream, and she was some kind of REMfluencer. With what mental discipline I could conjure, I forced myself to push back. So, you're my sympathetic ex-wife, I said, dripping with extra sarcasm that can only exist in a dream state. Whatever you're selling, I'm not interested.
Good sir, I do believe you are mistaken. I am not here to hawk my wares.
Wares, services, REM sex. Listen, ex-wife, I might be lonely, but I'm not desperate. Which was a lie, but...
With respect, Lord Steve, will you please cease your jawing for one moment and listen? I am not your ex-wife.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I am not selling you anything. As emissary to my people, I request an audience, Steve, Lord of the Insurance Underwriters. I beseech you.
Beseech me? To do what? She lifted her gaze, about to speak, when suddenly she glitched out and was replaced by a blonde model, the kind you find in stock photos. She spoke as though continuing from another conversation.
And if you enter the code sympathetic ex-wife, you'll get the first year subscription with Skillshare at 50% off.
And once again, Rabbit woke me up, demanding his morning treats. All morning while crawling through Houston traffic, I kept thinking about that dream with my non-existent ex-wife. Not the boring blonde trying to sell me Skillshare. No, the first one. The one that Skillshare overwrote. The way that she spoke, she was beseeching me. Beseech. Who says beseech? Whoever this REMfluencer was, she was magnetic. Something way beyond the sympathetic ex-wife REMfluencer. I couldn't stop thinking about her. I was wandering through a beautiful meadow. I knew I was dreaming because I live in Houston. Beautiful meadows had all been paved over and replaced by strip malls with mattress stores. Out in the distance were snow-capped mountains. Nearby I heard chanting. I followed the sound and crossed over a stream. The grass beneath my bare feet was soft and glowed with each step. I walked past a tree that yawned its massive branches towards the ground. On the other side, I found the source of the chanting, a group of people in a circle, and at the center was my non-existent ex-wife.
He has come.
She beamed as her green eyes sparkled. The people surrounding her, all dressed in purple robes, turned to me.
My covenants I present to you, my counterpart from the other realm. The realm of blandly dressed folk with creations never imagined. I present the Weaver of Dreams, the Lord Master of Bigly Insurance Underwriters. I present Steve.
The group bowed and repeated my name with reverence.
Steve, Lord of the Insurance Underwriters.
Hi, did I catch you at a bad time? She smiled warmly.
It is a perfect time, Lord Steve, for it was I who brought you to my realm.
This is your realm? Wow. Nice. Whoever this Rimfluencer was, she conjured an incredibly vivid setting. Better than even the big Rim streamers. I can usually see the fuzziness in the corners in my dream perception, even with the best streaming services. But not with this one. The definition and the clarity here, mwah!
I beg your indulgence, Lord Steve.
My non-existent wife said, pulling me out of my stupor.
I have invited you here to my realm in the hopes of an exchange, for we seek knowledge.
Well, if it's an insurance quote you're looking for, you can reach me when I'm conscious, Miss...
By the ages, I apologize for neglecting to introduce myself. I am Lady Morel.
She said as she curtsied. So that's your name. Great. I was getting a little tired referring to you as my ex-wife, seeing as we've never even met.
There is so much to discuss, Lord Steve. Let us stroll along the promenade and I shall explain.
Lady Moril then turned to the robed people.
The Lord of Insurance Underwriters and I must discuss matters. We shall recommence tomorrow.
Her devotees or subscribers or whatever broke up, and she led me down a path where we passed by flowers that I had never seen before. Hummingbirds danced around her. Snowflakes started to fall, but what's odd is I didn't feel cold, and it looked like it was spring. Lady Moril's probably a startup influencer who hacked into sympathetic ex-wife's feed, but her imagination is far more vivid than anything I've ever seen. You've got a hell of a dream life, Lady Moril.
You may refer to me as Morel now.
But you just said...
That is for my coven. In my realm, one speaks with reverence to the High Priestess, emissary to the other realms.
High Priestess Wow, that's a mouthful. So you got yourself an entire cult in your dream life? What subscription do you have for that? Is it Amazon or Hulu?
You must read the situation, Lord Steve.
You can call me Steve.
You must read the situation, Steve. You are not in my dream. You are in my waking world.
Yeah, I find that highly unlikely. She raised an eyebrow, as if challenging me. First of all, I know I'm dreaming. And besides, it's too beautiful to be real. I mean, there are snow-capped mountains in shades of purple. And those trees there, I've never seen anything like them. And you've got birds and squirrels circling around you like you're Snow White.
I do not know Snow White, but you are indeed dreaming, and you are also speaking to me in my realm in the waking.
And how is that possible? I could have sworn she sighed inwardly, as if I was an idiot who didn't know how door handles worked. She forced a grin.
It is possible because as an emissary, I am a seer. While my consciousness is in a liminal state, I can both see you in the dream and be here in the waking.
That took me a moment to process. So, you're saying that those aren't subscribers or NPCs. They're real. She nodded. And you're some kind of sorceress who somehow lured me over to your shire while I'm dreaming?
Your tawdry characterization of my calling pains me. I can assure you that I journey in a liminal state for the most noble intentions.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, liminal journeying into my dreams like that? She sighed.
There is a time for levity, Steve. Unfortunately, I have exhausted my capacity for such frivolity.
Sorry, I have that effect on people. She seemed to ignore my self-admonition.
It is only through the grace and skill of my guide that I have been able to find you at all.
Ah, cool. So, now that you found me, what can I do for you? Just then, I heard a familiar meow. I turned around and saw Rabbit on the path, chassaying up to us. Morel then knelt.
Sir Bingsley, would you wish to join us?
I turned around looking for some guy, but there was no one else. She was referring to my cat. Rabbit then jumped onto Morel's shoulder. She stood back up, and Rabbit perched on her shoulder, looking all regal. Wow, I could never get Rabbit to do that for me.
Sir Bingsley is not a rabbit, Steve.
Yeah, I know that. That's the name I call him. You know, because of his ears.
You refer to the master guide, Sir Bingsley, as a rabbit?
Your guide? What are you talking about? He's my cat. And I'll call him whatever I want, thank you very much.
Your cat? Sir Bingsley belongs to no one. He chooses who he guides. I have been fortunate that he has accepted to shepherd me into many a realm.
So you're saying Rabbit, Sir Bingsley? You know him from here? He's real here? Morel nodded. But Sir Bingsley, he looks just like Rabbit. And then Sir Bingsley butted his head up against Morel's ear. A moment later, her eyes widened.
Ah, yes, Sir Bingsley, indeed.
What? Morel nodded as Sir Bingsley kept nudging her ear until he returned to his regal perch.
It appears that Sir Bingsley is a parallel soul to Rabbit.
She saw my confusion.
They are the same, Steve. Rabbit in your realm is Sir Bingsley in mine, which explains how I was able to break through the chaos of your realm and contact you.
Ah, yes, of course. Nope, I don't get it at all. I don't get any of this. Morel smiled patiently.
As High Priestess Emissary, my calling is to explore other realms while in a liminal state. The Transilor League, that is my home here, has been pursued by Lord Pyron, the evil doer. I am on a quest to learn as much as I can of different knowings of other lands to protect us. I have journeyed across countless realms, ones where orcs ruled, others where fairies did not ever exist. But your realm, Steve, yours is one I have never encountered before.
Morel guided me to the shore of the lake, and we sat on enormous lily pads that supported our weight as frogs bounded from one pad to another.
Moons ago, when the sun would scarcely show herself, I suddenly heard a cacophony of voices. It wasn't just hundreds of thousands or even tens of thousands. It felt like hundreds of millions. It was a realm that just seemed to come into existence suddenly.
Moons ago. She meant months. Months ago was right about the time Dreamweaver launched. Huh. I wonder if you were able to reach out to me because of Dreamweaver.
Yes, Dreamweaver. I have heard of him in my trances.
But you're from a realm without any of our tech. I don't see an implant on you. She squinted her green eyes.
I am not familiar with this implant of which you speak. What I can say is that one day, suddenly, countless voices spoke all at once, and through it all hung to this master Dreamweaver. I tried to contact him directly, however, Dreamweaver would not grant me an audience. I beseeched him, but he would not respond. It was as though I did not even exist to him. However, it appears Sir Bingsley is a greater master guide than I could have imagined, for he exists in your realm as well. He must have been the conduit to allow me to contact you directly.
I nodded. Maril had no concept of AI apps, no less being installed with an implant, and in my world, we had a dearth of sorceress priestesses. But with Sir Bingsley/Rabbit acting like a Citrix portal, he allowed Maril to get my implant frequency or whatever and tap into my dreams.
I wish to learn as much as I can. I beg you, Steve, that I may observe your realm whilst you are in various states of consciousness, to include awake. I promise I shall not interfere.
I couldn't prove that Maril was a real person from a different realm. I just knew that she was. She had traveled across many realms, populated by orcs, elves, moderate Republicans, you name it. But in one liminal session, with Sir Bingsley's help, she discovered me while Dreamweaver was promoting some remfluencer called Sympathetic Ex-Wife. Maril and her people needed my help in combating Lord Pyron and his army of evildoers. Normally I wouldn't allow anybody to live rent-free in my head, but Maril was really sweet, and if I'm being frank, she was also rather alluring. How could I say no?
Everything changes.
Over the next several weeks, Maril would visit me in my sleep to let me know what she had observed. I'd be dreaming about work, school, a TV show I watched, the usual, and at some point she would arrive. In exchange for squatting in my mind with all of its dirty laundry, Maril gave me a mental timeshare in the Trinzalore League, which was definitely more beautiful than my duplex in H-Town, which was located across the street from a Best Buy. Maril's world was like Earth, or Middle-earth at least, and the people were as diverse as you'd find in Houston, but they were all dressed in Lord of the Rings costumes instead of shorts and sneakers. I suppose they weren't costumes any more than me dressed in khakis and a polo were. People in the Trinzalore League traveled on horses and sailing ships, but I also saw steam-powered airships, which I learned was a technology Maril gathered from another realm, a steampunk world from the sound of it. If I found her world relaxing, Maril found my world bonkers. A high-tech civilization populated by billions of people, driving around in shiny metal boxes, flying miles high in the air at hundreds of miles per hour in shiny metal boxes, and going to work in enormous shiny glass boxes to sit in tiny cubicle boxes and stare at screens filled with moving imagery all day, to return home to concrete boxes and eat box dinners. This was her description.
Your world is truly beyond description. I try to explain it to my people, but they cannot fathom it.
We were walking along a river in Trinzalore, where a water wheel was being constructed. Well, it looks like you're doing a pretty decent job of translating my world to yours, I said, pointing over to the water wheel. Maril learned about harnessing electricity and gave the specs to the guild to develop a rudimentary generator. They would see if they could find anything useful with this electricity thing.
If we can harness the magic of electricity, I can help my people cure diseases, fight off the evildoers who seek to ravage our lands. Who knows what else?
I nodded and said nothing more. I'm sort of glad she didn't discover guns in my world, which I had no idea how she missed that one. I mean, I live in freaking H-Town after all. Maybe she chose not to go there. And if I'm being honest, I did not want Marill to adopt anything from our world. Her world was pristine. But eventually, more of my world found its way into hers when she got her first unexpected encounter in DreamweavR. The secret nation of the Trenzalore League was governed by a council of elected elders. Lady Marill and I were in the council chambers. It was a gorgeous castle of oval-shaped minarets that resembled Islamic architecture and also like those Russian onion domes, but made of glass. I was walking up the steps with Marill when suddenly Sir Bingsley hissed. And out of thin air, my boss Bob popped in as a square image in the right corner.
Hey, Steve. You asleep? You missed the call in.
He stopped and whistled with amazement.
Whoa! Dude, nice dream. Is this Apple Narnia?
Marill stepped in front of me protectively.
Stand behind me, Steve.
She glowered at Bob.
What fortuitous demon are you to come here? Speak your name.
Bob chuckled, amused.
You are trespassing the halls of ancient Trenzalore Council, and you shall answer me now, or I shall—
It's okay, Lady Marill. Bigley Insurance recently added Microsoft Teams into DreamweavR, which allowed for employees to work while they're asleep. I know it sounds terrible, but we get overtime and night differential for it. I continued. This is my boss, Bob. Bob, this is Lady Marill.
Ah, the overseer of Bigley Insurance Underwriters. My apologies, good sir.
She curtsied. Bob liked that and smiled back.
Hey, dude. It's no rush. I'll catch you on the wakey wake.
Bob had inadvertently opened a can of worms. After seeing firsthand a window into one of our applications through DreamweavR, Marill started perusing through the Remterweb. It started while I would be dreaming about my usual standards, driving a car from a backseat, missing an entire semester of class, getting in arguments with Theodore Roosevelt, that sort of thing. Marill was there for part of it, but then she would disappear. At first I thought she popped back to her own realm, but it turned out she was checking out the Disney Paramount channel. She quickly got bored with the Marvel IP though, which is no shocker, and then started streaming the Rimfluencers on their Rimcasts. And that's when she got hooked. It was subtle at first. I'd arrive into a dream and find Marill sitting up on a couch suddenly and turning off whatever she was streaming, and then we'd go to her realm. But then it got harder for her to bring me to her place. Soon enough, she was coming over to my place all the time, squatting in my head and streaming all sorts of Rimfluencers. One night, I arrived into a nightmare in my mom's house. It was the one with the boogeyman chasing me. My heart was racing. He was going to catch me the moment he saw me. But then, as I was about to race up the stairs and lose my strength, which was standard, I found Marill lounging on the couch.
Hey, dude, what's shaking?
I panted, still in fright. There's someone chasing me.
Bummer. I hope it all turns out okay.
She said casually as she put her headphones back on. I was about to run up the stairs to go through the ordeal of losing energy while I was trying to outrun the boogeyman as the shadowy figure was about to turn the corner when I got distracted by the sight of her. Marill's hair no longer flowed. Her once shimmering mahogany skin was now pallid. And she wasn't wearing a flowing gown either. Rather, she was wearing yoga pants and a sweatshirt with a Hoka logo. All of the fear and terror from one of my favorite nightmares just suddenly lost its potency. The shadowy figure of the boogeyman appeared, and he stopped too. I turned towards the lump on the couch, flipping through the channels. Sir Bingsley Rabbit was asleep beside her. The boogeyman tried to reassert his power over me, but I shook my head. Sorry, my heart's just not into it. Rain check?
Alright. Later, Steve.
The boogeyman's shoulder slumped as he walked out. I walked over to Marill, who didn't even bother to acknowledge my presence. Her eyes were glazed over. Marill? You okay?
Yeah, dude.
Dude. She never called me dude before. When's the last time you were home? She just shrugged. I sat next to her, getting in the way of the screen. Sir Rabbit Bingsley scampered off the couch.
Hey, you're in the way.
I looked into her green eyes. They had lost their sparkle. Once radiant, Marill was now average. Her green eyes, bereft of any sparkle, had told me enough. Marill hadn't left. Lord Pyron might be an evildoer, but even he couldn't compete with the lure of rim streaming. She was withering away before me. I took her hand. Lady Marill, you need to leave. She chuckled at first and then recoiled.
Wait. You're serious?
I am.
For how long?
I didn't answer. She then shot up. My mom's living room turned into my high school and I was suddenly naked. I didn't care.
No, Steve, you can't do this. You can't cut me out like that.
We were now underwater. I don't want to do this. But Lady Marill, I have to.
Lady Marill, will you stop with that? It's just Marill.
She chuckled ruefully.
Dude, I was just yanking your chain. I'm not some high priestess, whatever, from some other realm. I'm just some chick from, Anaheim.
I wanted to believe her, that she was just some lady from my world who hacked into my dreams because that would be less painful. But I knew she was not from here, and this place was killing her. We were now in the back seat of a car, careening down a highway with no one in a driver's seat. Anaheim, huh? And where is that again? Her eyes darted right and left, trying to come up with an answer.
I don't have to tell you anything.
You can't because you're not from Anaheim. You are High Priestess Lady Marill, emissary of the secret Trenzalore League. And it is time for you to return to your realm, my lady. Her eyes welled up.
No, please, you can't. If you loved me.
I'm doing this because I love you.
If you really love me, Steve, you'd hit like and subscribe and mention me in the comments.
Don't you see? You're trying to play it off as if you're not even real. This place is killing you. My people, we grew up with this bullshit. As burned out and jaded as we are, some of us can at least find some semblance of ourselves in this swill. But you, my sweet Lady Marill, You have no immunity. This place is stripping you of who you are. And I can no longer allow that. Muriel screamed and cursed at me, telling me I was a coward. I awoke to find Sir Bingsley Rabbit gnawing at my neck where the implant was. I shooed him away, but then I understood. While Sir Bingsley Rabbit might have been the initial conduit for Muriel to tap into me, it's the DreamweavR app itself that enabled her to connect to me. And that connection is possible through the hardware of the implant on which it runs. Sir Bingsley Rabbit sat at the foot of the bed, looking at me as if to speak. I nodded. Yeah, you're right. You're right, of course. It had been a year since I had the implant removed, and with it, my dreams returned to their weird, plotless scrabble of images, thoughts, and fears, the way that they were supposed to be. I no longer had sympathetic ex-wife combing my feed, nor any free enhancements. In my waking world, I battled through traffic, drafted insurance agreements, and used my old-school smartphone to keep me in the loop. And I thought of Lady Muriel every day. I even missed the pale imitation of sympathetic ex-wife. Sir Bingsley Rabbit treated me differently now. He would jump onto my shoulder and perch, and he didn't demand treats so early in the morning anymore. It's like he respected me. I was walking on the moon. Occasionally my subconscious would bring me to this remarkable desolation. It occurred to me that I wasn't wearing an EVA suit, but instead of freaking out as I tend to do in my dreams, I just gazed out into the distance. And then I saw something, a shimmering. The form took shape. It was Lady Muriel. Her dark skin was in full shimmer against the sunlight. Her emerald green dress and burgundy locks flowed. I bounded towards her, the way astronauts did. Please tell me she's real. Please.
Steve, Lord of the Insurance Underwriters, you do have an active imagination.
Are you really here? I saw a glint of her smile.
Are we really on the moon? I'm afraid to disappoint, but alas, we are not.
I was about to rephrase my question, and then she chuckled.
Yes, Steve. It is I.
But how?
After you unceremoniously tossed me out on my rump, I was livid.
I'm sorry, Muriel, but She then took my hand.
And you saved me, my friend. Those demons were seductive and nearly consumed me. It took me months, but eventually I recovered.
You have no idea how happy I am to see you, and that you're doing well, that you've recovered. But I had the implant removed. There is no DreamweavR portal. How did you find me?
My dear Steve, our love binds us. Together, we are the Dreamweaver.
She gave me a kiss. And for the rest of the evening, bounced around on the moon. Though Sir Bingsley Rabbit had a bit of a tough go in the low gravity.
Mixtape Stories hopes you enjoyed this podcast. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. You can find out more about us on our website, mixtapestories.net.
The role of Muriel was played by Aixa Tovar. The Euphorum voiceover by Marjorie Trace Juge, and Bob by Robert C., available on Fiverr. In this episode, you also heard Dreamweaver by Gary Wright.